Hey, it's Alexis, and it's time to pick August TBR. So if you guys remember, last month I picked 8 books for July's TBR, plus 3 books for my vacation TBR, and let's just say things didn't go as planned. So I started reading The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand on the way to start my vacation. Guys, that book was so boring. I was so bored. And then I ended up DNFing it because I was literally just so bored. So then I looked at the ending of it. Guys, if I would have finished that, I would have been so mad. It was like so anticlimactic. If you guys read the book, you know what I'm talking about. Are you kidding me right now? I was so excited for that book because it sounded so intriguing, and then it was such a letdown. So that was like the only book that I started on my vacation. I think I read 14 pages of The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. So I still need to finish that book because I technically started it. And then for my 8 books for my July TBR, did not read a single one of them. I actually unhauled one of them. So that was cool. So I think that August is going to be a better month for me. I'm going to try my best to actually read the books this month. Part of my issue last month was I had to practice math so that I could take a placement test to get into the right math class for this upcoming semester. That's now done. I'm already in the math class I needed to be in now, so everything's good. So I can focus on reading again. So I hopefully going to do a lot better this month. But I think I'm gonna pick 7 books this month. I know it's kind of a weird number, but that way I have an extra option in case I don't want to read one of the 6 original books that I pick. So we're going to do 7 prompts. Now that long explanation is over, let's get started. Prompt number 1 is going to be a book by an author whose name you will mispronounce. Okay, wait to call me out. We all know I can't pronounce anything. We have Spy Family Volume 3. Oh, you can't even see it. So we have Spy Family Volume 3. I think the author's name is Tatsuya Endo. I probably butchered the heck out of that name. So sorry. So this is an option. We also have Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Let's see. Toshikazu Kawaguchi? Totally butchered that. I am so sorry. Please tell me how to pronounce this because I don't know. Do I have any others? Okay, so I think that these are the 2 options. We have Spy Family Volume 3 and Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And honestly, I think I'm going to pick Spy Family Volume 3 because Spy Family Volume 2 left off on a cliffhanger, and I've been excitedly waiting to read this one, I guess you could say. So if you haven't read the series, the first book is about this guy named Twilight who is a spy, and he's given this mission that he has to complete in order to, I guess, like rank up. I don't really know. But his mission is to form a family, so he has to adopt a kid and get a wife. And the wife he ends up choosing turns out to be an assassin, and the daughter he ends up adopting ends up being a telepath. So they've got quite the little family dynamic going on there. In the last book, like in the second book, he had another goal like added to his task where he had to get his daughter into this elite school. So they were going through like all the motions and stuff to get her into the school. So that's where we left off. So I'm excited for this one. Prompt number 2. A historical fiction book. Okay, we'll see what we have. So I don't think I have any historical fictions on the book cart. I think I'm going to have to pick one off of the shelf. And I already know what I'm going to have to pick, and I'm not really excited for it because I don't know if I'm actually in the right mental headspace for this, but let me grab it. We have The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. So I have 3 Kristen Hanna books on my shelf, and I know that they all make people really sad. So I actually tried to start reading The Nightingale the other day, and I was already crying at page 1. So I don't know what that says about me, but I don't know how mentally prepared I'm going to be to read one of her books. But we have to put it on the TBR. If I read it, I read it. If I don't, I'll read it some other time. I do want to read it. I just don't know who right now is the time. So I just read the back of this, and I still don't fully know what this is about. It says it takes place in Alaska in 1974, and it's about this family that's in the middle of a crisis. Apparently the dad, what's his name? I think it's pronounced Ernst, E-R-N-T. It says that he comes home from the Vietnam War a changed and vital man, and has made the impulsive decision to move his wife and daughter north to America's last true frontier. So he comes home from the war and just packs up his family and moves them to Alaska. But then when they get to Alaska, what's their names? Cora's the mom, and Lenny, I guess, L-E-N-I, is the daughter. They come to terms with the fact that their husband/dad is now a changed man, and things are not going to be going as interesting as they thought they were going to be. I don't know. I guess I'm intrigued to read this one, but like I said, I don't know how my mental state's going to be. This is an iffy on if I'll read it or not, but here we go. Alright, problem number 3. A book with flowers on the cover. Well, hopefully that's not too hard to find a book. We'll see. So this one's got roses on it. This one's got plants, but they're not flowers, so I don't think it counts. This one also has roses on it. Roses are my favorite flower, along with tulips, so it's kind of funny that all the books with flowers so far have been roses. That might say something about my taste. Okay, so I guess our 2 options are Cinderella and the Beast or Beauty and the Glass Slipper, which is the Princess Swap Book 1 by Kim Bussing, or The Littlest Library by Poppy Alexander. And I don't know which one I want to read, so let me read the backs and decide real quick. So I think I'm going to pick The Littlest Library by Poppy Alexander. So, Little Free Library, guys. That's what this is about. So it's about this girl named Jess whose grandmother dies, and at the same time she also loses her job at the local library in her town. So she decides that it's time for her to start basically a new life. So she just packs up all of her grandmother's books that she was left and moves off to, where does it say where she's going? To a tiny cottage on the English countryside. And when she gets there, she finds out that this little library, well, this little phone booth, technically, is left on her property, so she now owns it and can do whatever she wants with it. So she decides to put her grandmother's old books in here to start a library to get the community to become friendly with each other, I guess, and to make them all come together. It just sounds like it's going to be a fun, wholesome time. So I'm really excited for this one. Okay, prompt number 4. A book that you haven't heard anyone talk about. So I do have a few of those on my card because sometimes I'm just a cover by person. So I do have The Princess Swap, like I said, by Kim Bussing. We have Just Another Dead Author, which is actually an arc. The book comes out August 12th, so this might be a good one to pick. I've not heard anybody talk about The Wish Switch by Lynn Painter. Honestly, I haven't heard anyone talk about The Godparent Trap by Rachel Van Dyken either. I bought this because I did see it on somebody's TBR, but never heard them talk about it. They never read it, never heard them talk about it. So there's that. We also have Murder by Cheesecake by Rachel Ekstrom Courage. Haven't heard anyone talk about this one either. We also have this nonfiction, How to Break Up with Your Phone by Catherine Price. Haven't heard anyone talk about this either. So I think that these are our options for a book I've never heard anyone talk about. So let me quickly look through the backs of these and decide which one I'm going to read. Okay, so I think my 2, this might actually surprise you guys, but I think that the 2 that I'm trying to decide between is How to Break Up with Your Phone and Murder by Cheesecake. Obviously, this one is a fiction. It's a Golden Girls, cozy mystery. And I used to be obsessed with the Golden Girls, so I really want to read this. But I'm also trying to not be on, my phone as much because, guys, I'm going to be transparent with you. I checked my, phone usage this morning. I played games on my phone for, 30 hours last week. I feel like that's a big problem. And I'm trying to limit the amount of time that I'm on social media. I literally stopped using TikTok 2 months ago. Haven't touched it since. And I like feel much better in my mental health after that. So now I'm trying to cut back the amount of time that I use Instagram, Facebook. I'm not going to stop using YouTube because I feel, in my opinion, that YouTube is a little bit of a different platform, social media wise. I feel like this would be really good for me to read and hopefully get me to stop spending 30 hours on my phone playing games. But I also really want to read this one. So I'm really conflicted right now. But I think I'm going to pick this one because this is the one that my heart's telling me to read. So I think I'm going to pick Murder by Cheesecake by Rachel Exum Courage. Like I said, this is a Golden Girls murder mystery. So from reading the back, it seems like it's about Rose, who's like hosting her cousin's wedding. Dorothy's also trying this new dating thing, like VHS dating. She picks this guy to be her date for the wedding, and when they get there, he's found dead face first in the cheesecake. So now instead of enjoying the wedding, they're now trying to solve a mystery. It just sounds good. So I'm excited for this one. And hopefully I can pick this for another prompt. Okay, prompt number 5. A book with trees on the cover. Apparently this TBR wants me to get one with nature. I mean, there's like a little bit of tree here, but you can't even see the trunk part. It's just the leaves. There's a palm tree up in the corner. This one's got trees on it. Trees. A giant tree. Okay. I'm gonna go with these 4 as our options. So I could do Magnolia Parks, but I don't know if I want to. This author has been putting herself in some controversial conversations lately, and I don't really know how I feel about reading her work right now, or if I ever do. I want to read this because I know so many people love it, but I just feel weird. I don't know. I might pick this up some other time, but I'm not right now. Then we could do One True Love by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And if you watched my 24-hour video, you saw that I read Atmosphere by her and absolutely loved it. So I kind of want to read another one of her books right now, but I also don't know if I should spread it out. So next we have Passion Project by London Sperry. And I don't really know a whole lot about this besides the fact that it's set in New York. And I've heard some people say that they really loved it. And the cover is gorgeous. And then our last option is The Gungle by Stephen Rowley. And this was on my TBR for July. And I did not read it. So maybe I should pick this one for August. But I guess we'll see. So I'm going to quickly read the backs of these and decide which one I'm going to read. You know what? I think I'm going to pick Passion Project by London Sperry. So from reading the back, it's about this girl named Bennett who feels like she's failing miserably because they say that life in your 20s is supposed to be the best, and so far her life is not going the best. But it says that she is at the painful center of listlessness and grief over the death of her first love. I've never experienced that, but I can't imagine it. And then it says that she runs into Henry, which is the guy that she stood up a few hours before, and then she drunkenly tells him that she's not ready to date because she's going through the grief of losing her first love. So they come to this conclusion that they're just going to be friends and they're going to spend, was it every Saturday? Yeah. So every Saturday they decided that they're going to do something fun in the city of New York. And he's basically going to be like her tour guide. And they're just going to have a good time as friends, seeing new things and having new experiences. So this sounds like it's going to be fun. Okay, prompt number 6. A book with a 3-word title. I feel like we might have quite a few options for this. Nope, that's 4. So we have Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the Mind series by S.T. Abbey, Mad About You by Vari McFarland, Amazing Grace Adams by Fran Littlewood, The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, The Guest List by Lucy Foley, The Godparent Trap by Rachel Van Dyken, See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley, and The Wish Switch by Lynn Painter. So we actually have quite the stack of options for this prompt. Let me quickly decide. Okay, so I think that I'm in between Every Summer After by Carly Fortune and See You Yesterday by Rachel and Solomon. They both sound really good, but I feel like I need to pick this one because I might not read it again until next summer if I don't. But this one sounds so good and I really want to read this one. I don't know what to pick, guys. So this one is about Barrett, and she's about to start college, and on her first day of college, it's September 21st. Everything that could go wrong goes wrong, right? So then she just gives up for the day, goes to bed, and she wakes up again the next day, and it's September 21st all over again. And she confronts the guy in her physics class named Miles and finds out that he's also been living the same day over and over again for months. So they decide to team up to try to figure out how to get out of the situation that they're in. It's a Groundhog's Day trope, and it just sounds like it's gonna be fun. I really want to read this one. But then, like I said, we have Every Summer After, and I might not read this if I don't read it right this month. Like, I might not read it till next year. It just doesn't sound as interesting to me as the other one does. But this one says that it's about 6 summers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart, and a weekend to get it right. I don't know, that just doesn't sound as interesting as reliving the same day over and over again. So this is going to be a stupid choice, but I'm gonna pick See You Yesterday by Rachel and Solomon. Not that I think the book's gonna be stupid, but now I'm not gonna read this till next year, unless it's my last pick. Okay, last prompt number 7. Random number generator picks. Okay, so random number generator is supposed to pick. So my husband came in here and he's going to randomly select a number.
17.
Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So the last book on August TBR is going to be Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, which is book 2 in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I haven't read those first books since 2023, so I don't remember everything that happened, but I do feel like that one wrapped up so that you can just read this one without rereading that one. Let me know if I'm wrong, but this one looks like Pip is now not a detective anymore, so she's not trying to solve cases anymore, but she started a podcast. I don't know, that sounds kind of interesting to me. I remember really enjoying the first one when I read it, but let me know if you guys liked this one and if you think I'm gonna like it. This is going to be my August TBR. Hopefully I can actually complete this whole TBR this month. That would be amazing. But let me know what books you guys are going to read in the month of August, and let me know if you've read any of these and what you think I'm going to rate them. I will hopefully see you guys in another video. Have a great rest of your day.